You're now listening to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Welcome to episode 179 of the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast, brought to you by Drip Drop.
Yep.
I'm not drinking Drip Drop.
I just had mine. I finished it. Man, this stuff was good. But, 179, dude, that's almost 180, bro.
Yeah, we're almost at the big 180. We got Jinsey Stinson on with us.
What's up?
Randy the Plumber. Me and Randy are together on the beach. We're
Yeah.
on vacation.
They didn't invite me, guys. I'm a little upset, but maybe next time.
It was a last-minute thing to Mexico, you know?
You never know when these things happen. We brought this nice furniture out to the beach. We didn't
this
have
is
any
all
beach
part
food.
of our beach package, dude.
Right.
Like
Sandals.
the big house and stuff that we're staying in, and these chairs, these are fancy.
Big condo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, something like that. It's in the water.
It's the only way. They even installed one of these nice booms for us out here in the sand.
I mean, they hooked us up. They found out the Garage Guys was up in this biatch.
Right. They took care of business.
And they was like, holy shit. We got to take care of these
We
guys.
got to take care of them.
This sumbitch will have the whole island replumbed if we don't.
That's right. So, see, we're laying down the framework here in the Co. That's what we'll call it. But go over to dripdrop.com right now. Use promo code GarageGuys20. Save 20% on your order of Drip Drop. We do have cable down here in Mexico. We got to watch the race today.
Yeah. And what's funny is how I'm here. You know what I told my wife, right?
What'd you tell her?
When we left?
What'd you say?
I said, I got to go on an emergency plumbing call. And she said, where? I said, to Mexico.
It's perfect.
So I said, I'm going to be a couple of days.
All right. So now we're here. Jinsey, would you have bought that?
I don't know about that. Maybe.
No? Well, Breeze is nice.
Well, I sold it and she purchased it. I'm telling you, she did. She's probably back home spending a lot of money right now, though.
Well, it's not
Good
money
for her.
that we won from betting today. I'll tell you that much.
No, I didn't do too
Cole Custer.
Cole Custard.
Cole Custard.
Cole Custard. Cole Custard!
Get to Cole's Custard. It's what's for dinner. Cole Custer won his first NASCAR race today in Kentucky. And it's the first Cup Series race for a rookie this season. For a rookie in a very long time. I think one of your followers had like a really interesting stat.
Yeah. Cole Custard was 12.
12 years
when
old.
the last rookie won a race.
Trevor Bayne?
Huh.
I think so, yeah.
Trevor Bayne. What a name. Do you remember Trevor Bayne, Jinsey?
Yeah, I do. One time I seen him in a NASCAR race, and this dude was like, a NASCAR driver just walked by you, and he was dressed in normal clothes. This was like last year at Charlotte, and I was like, I didn't even recognize him, and he was like, that's Trevor Bayne, and I was like, oh, crap. You don't even recognize them whenever they're not in their fire suits.
I don't even remember Trevor Bayne.
Yeah, I barely caught him.
That's what people say about me when I'm not in my fire suit.
When are you never in a PFG?
When am I never in a fishing shirt? I have 294 of these sons of bitches.
He's not lying.
They're comfortable.
I have a full rack in my closet that's nothing but fishing shirts.
He's fishing.
In every color.
So the last time I didn't wear a fishing shirt, I would have probably been too young to remember that time.
Holy crap. I can remember when they first invented, like when they first really started wearing the fishing shirts out, like in college, like back in like the early 2010s.
Yeah.
It was just like every time we'd go in a bar, they'd be like, how many did you catch today? And we'd be like, I don't know. So it's good to know that you don't always have to go fishing to wear a fishing shirt.
And that was back in your prime, in your college prime days. So
it's 2020. It feels like yesterday.
I'm in my prime now.
That's a good way to think about it, Randy. We need more people like you.
I'm in my prime now. I just got done recording my first comedy album.
Yeah. Doesn't get released until 1,000 subs on YouTube. So everyone watching this, do your job.
We are not releasing it until Garage Guys Fantasy Sports YouTube page has 1,000 subscribers. You want the love, you show us the love.
That's right. You're going to get a full comedy special. Great audience.
Yeah,
special value. Fantastic audience.
So Chase is the only person in America that's watched it. Okay, it's I let him watch it today, and You tell them. You tell them what you thought of it.
ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing. It's good stuff. We need 1,000 subs though. It's the only way. So we got to make that happen. But getting back to this race, we started out. You text
Pillow fight.
I don't even have a pillow, right?
I know. I brought my Great American.
Unfair.
To Mexico.
I know. I should have had a Mexico pillow. And then we could have really had a fight. But so here's the deal.
There wouldn't have been no fight.
Probably not. Who knows? Boring race for the most part. You text me. I had a text from Drew earlier today. Everybody was just kind of snoozing. And then we get some of the most amazing restarts. The caution starts stacking up.
It did.
One of the most controversial moments of the race, Brad Keselowski, Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie has come out and said that he cannot wait until he gets behind Brad K on a restart again. So trouble coming for Brad K.
He said that?
He said that. He tweeted it. He tweeted that out. He said he cannot
wait. He tweeted
wait.
it. I didn't see that.
Yeah, either he tweeted it or he said it. Can't really remember. It came out of his mouth. It was on a quote on Fox, so that typically means it's real for the most part. Would you say?
Pretty much.
Who would win in a fight, Jimmie Johnson or Brad Keselowski?
Jimmie Johnson, easily. He does cardio, bikes. He has muscles. Brad Keselowski is just like I seen a tweet. It said he's the most oddly shaped human being ever, and he really is.
He looks normal in person.
Yeah, so my money's on Jimmie Johnson. Just he's a trainer. He's got the muscle, and he
completed the Boston Marathon.
That don't mean not many people can somebody's ass.
Well,
I think it does, Randy.
I don't know. I guess you're right. Yeah, I've never completed
stamina.
No, it ain't about stamina. It's about knocking somebody the hell out.
Well, he did beat.
Well, then who do you think, Randy?
I don't think either one of them would do shit, to be honest with you.
I kind of agree.
I think it'd be like a pillow fight. I think it'd be like, stop!
I got it. Grab a piece of America. But no, I'm telling you, I don't think that would be much of a fight at all. The only thing that Jimmie has upside is that he has beaten Corona. So he beat Corona.
He beat it in like 12 hours. Flat.
Yeah.
It's like he woke up one morning and went, I'm thinking to whoop his shit out of this.
Yeah, Rocky Apollo Creed style. He did it.
Yep.
So
he did.
Shout out to Chef Boy. So he got that. I don't know though. It's I think it was kind of screwed up on Brad's part, but at the same time, because Jimmie still has his retirement year. Nothing's going his way though at all. No, and it's funny because it's like Brad's like, okay, I'm coming for your car next season. Just give him a little tap because you're still a big believer in the Keselowski.
I really think Kez is going to the 48.
I'm a believer.
You're a believer? Yeah. So you made Jinsey a believer?
I'm going to be very surprised if it don't happen.
I still think we could see a young gun hop in that 48.
Back years ago, I was telling people that Dale Jr. was going to go to Hendrick Motorsports, and everybody thought I was an absolute idiot. They said, man, have you lost your damn mind? I told people 3 years before this Chase's playoffs ever started that it was coming, and they like, are you stupid? Are you crazy? And I'm like, dude, it's going to happen. And shit happens. And I'm telling you, I predicted that Brad Keselowski is going to Hendrick, and a lot of people think I done fell off my damn rocker.
I think we should listen to Randy at this point, though, because, look, he picked Jeff Gordon to be his driver. Dude won major championships. Picked Truex to be his driver, won a championship.
Yeah.
Calling moves. Randy might be the NASCAR – you might be the NASCAR Oracle.
Well.
You thought about that? We've already talked about the Matrix. So.
I'm at least the godfather.
Okay. Godfather of NASCAR. Randy the Plumber.
I'm at least the godfather. Let me introduce you to my little friend.
You need marshmallows. You need some marshmallows.
I hope that you and your family and everybody does well.
That was great. That was almost as good as your attempt to do a different accent, Jinsey.
Yeah, let's talk about
what she trying to do.
Oh man, that was a fun
I don't want to talk about it, Randy. That was a while ago.
So, just getting into the fan side of stuff, though. Jinsey, you're from Kentucky. Obviously, we had to have you on this episode. This was your home track.
Yeah, I'm a Kentucky girl.
Yeah. How does it feel to not be there this year? You're normally there pretty much every year, right?
Well, I started going, like I said, whenever I first fell in love with NASCAR, my first race was 2016. So I haven't missed a race since then. But I was just really sad, especially that they moved it during the day because, I just love it, the night race at Kentucky. So I was sad that I wasn't able to be there. And I was hoping that Chase Elliott could lead a couple laps today because he hasn't led any at Kentucky Speedway. But Randy, didn't you say it? You were like, Chase Elliott, he's gonna come out at this Kentucky race, and he failed us, Randy.
Yeah, look, Chase, and I'm gonna tell you from decades. I've been watching NASCAR for 4 decades. God, shit.
4 decades.
Four decades. I just thought about that myself. Holy shit, I'm old.
I've only been alive for 2 decades.
Yeah, but I've been watching, and when I say I've been watching NASCAR, I might have missed since they started putting them on television, which wasn't in the beginning.
Yep.
But since they started putting them on live television, I probably have missed 20 races since that day. So I've watched it and I've studied it and I understand it. And when a driver like the caliber of Chase Elliott with all the hype comes into the sport, if they don't get something done in the first 5 years, they're in trouble. And they start losing that most popular fan base and all this stuff. So this is the year he has to do it. If he doesn't do it this year, he's just going to be Bill's boy for the rest of his career.
He's Bill's boy.
He's not going to be Chase Elliott.
Bill's boy. That's what I like to call him. It's real, though. I mean,
yeah.
Elliott, right now, obviously, Bubba Wallace has taken on that hype as being, like, the face of NASCAR with recent events. He's done a huge job at, like, being an advocate for the sport. He's been the media attention that he's been getting, the radio shows he's been on, the NFL athletes, the people that he's bringing into NASCAR. It's just amazing to see all that happening. As far as the driving, though, like, we're looking for, like, who that next guy is going to be. Who is the next veteran that's going to finally get these stables going? We had a conversation today about Ryan Blaney. You don't think that is going to be the guy. You're not really sure if Hamlin's going to win a championship, and that's another thing, too.
If Hamlin does win a championship, he is then going to have the record for the most starts until you win your first championship. Yeah. See, that's the thing is you don't go out there after about year 6 or 7. If you hadn't like done it, it's starting to get really tough. Like,
the odds are against you.
Yes, they start stacking quick. Kevin Harvick is the exception to the rule.
Yeah, if Harvick would have been in other equipment other than RCR equipment, we said it on the last podcast. If you guys got to listen to it, you heard it. If you haven't listened to episode 178 yet, go check it out. But we both said it ourselves that you put Kevin Harvick in that 48 car, we're looking at between 8 to 10 championships.
I think so. I'm telling you, man, it would have made a huge difference in his career. But it's just how this thing works. I mean, if you're not out there really by year 3 racing for championships, it's you're not going to nobody's going to pull a Jeff Gordon. No. Just jump into the sport and win a championship. That shit's over.
Right. That doesn't happen.
There ain't no more Jeff Gordons.
There could be, though.
Well, it's always possible.
Cole's custard.
It's all changed, too. We're talking about mid-'90s versus now. This is 2020.
Yeah, the whole setup's
different.
different.
You got, all right, in 1995, on any given Sunday, you had about 6 to 7 drivers that could win a race. Now you have 15. Okay? It's a different world out there. It didn't work that way back then. So if you're not racing for championships by year 3, it's probably not going to happen.
You narrow it down to it's more driver skill nowadays with the cars being so evenly matched.
Yeah,
for the most part, it's about who's got the fastest stuff. But I mean, out of this rookie class right here, I mean, I've had a lot of hype for Tyler Reddick. I'm still a Reddick believer. It's just
he got a top 10 today.
Yeah, he had a top 10, and then Cole being if you would have told me that Cole Custer would have beat Reddick
or even Byron
win, or Byron.
I thought of Byron instantly. Like, I cannot believe that Cole Custer, even, Byron has pristine equipment, pristine Hendrick Motorsports equipment, and he still hasn't won a race.
About that too. I mean,
look, man, I get into this stuff and I get so mad sometimes because I overthink
Chad Canals, 24 car.
Yeah.
What are you doing, William?
I don't know. It's just how this thing operates, man. First of all, these guys are coming in too young. Okay, if you go back to the mid late 90s to early 2000s, you didn't get a ride in Cup until you was 23, 24 years old normally.
Right.
Now they're coming in at 18, 19. How old was Logano?
Logano had to be what? 18?
He just graduated high school.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah,
I'm
it's
saying?
like 18.
Tony Stewart's famous "Kid's an idiot."
Yeah. But they're bringing them in too young. But see, here's a fun fact about NASCAR, and this is the only sport where this exists. If you come in with a team and you stay with them for a good long while, and you leave that team and go to a new team, your career starts over.
Right.
Okay. Your career is completely washed and done, and it has to start over because any new team is a completely different organization. Everything's completely different. See, that's a Kevin Harvick scenario. He leaves RCR. What's he got? A few wins. He leaves RCR. His career starts over at Stewart-Haas, and what does he go out and do? He immediately goes out and starts racing for championships. I didn't say you got to win the championship. You have to race for championships. If you're not in that Final Four, the last race of the year, by year 3 or 4 of your career, you're probably not ever going to get into it unless you start your career over. Martin Truex Jr. started his career over. Remember when he did that? What did he do? He went out there and started racing for championships. So Brad Keselowski is going to leave Penske. No ifs, no and, no but. He's going to start his career over again with a new team, and he's going to have a chance to start really going out there and kicking ass again.
I believe it.
Do you think after today, whenever Brad Keselowski and Jimmie Johnson got into each other on the restart, that Mr. Hendrick rethunk his decision if he is going to the 48?
No.
Might have lit fire under his ass even more, huh?
Rick Hendrick wants – okay, Hendrick Motorsports was built on the fact that teams rivaled each other. They were built on that fact. Hendrick's who perfected it. They perfected it in 1995 is when they perfected it, and look what happened. But Hendrick Motorsports is founded and based on the fact that they want their drivers to be their teams to be in competition with each other constantly. He was one of the first owners to come out and have cars. I mean, I watched race after race where Hendrick Motorsports finished 1, 2, 3. Right. Okay, and this happened multiple times. He was the first owner to come out and tell his drivers, "Have at it, boys. Whatever happens, happens. Whoever gets the win, gets the win." I mean, these other team owners was like, "No, y'all take care of my equipment, on the last lap." Still, no, at Hendrick Motorsports, it was a free-for-all.
Onward. Yeah, and I mean, growing up, I mean, like I said, I know that I'm not that much older than you, Jinsey, but I can remember, like, back in, like, the late 90s when all this stuff was going down, like, of how these teams were operating, getting to watch Dale Earnhardt do his thing. But just Hendrick was always, like, pinnacle. They were just top dogs. So, and it's been that way for a long time. But it does suck to see Byron not be able to get in that groove. And maybe that's a sign that he may not be 100% ready. Maybe he should have stayed a little bit longer in Xfinity.
I think he should. Look, and this is my opinion. Don't people that take this out of context.
Are our own.
People take this out of context. If you don't win an Xfinity championship, you don't get a cup ride.
Absolutely.
That's the way it should be. You should have a different Xfinity champion every year. And if you can't win an Xfinity championship, you don't get a ride.
No ride.
I mean, look, if you belong in Cup, you should have won the Xfinity championship.
I could agree with that.
If you belong in Cup, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, look at Reddick.
40 drivers, the best in the world, okay? That's what we call Cup drivers. If we're not saying that the 40 Cup drivers that start week in and week out are the best drivers in the world, then we have completely failed as a sport, okay? Absolutely. Because they're supposed to be the best drivers in the world. And if you can't win in the minor leagues, you don't belong in Cup.
Can't compete with the big dogs.
I mean, it's just Xfinity is the minor leagues, okay? Truck Series is the rookie league.
NCAA to NFL.
Yes. I mean, it's just what it is. They were designed to be – ARCA is for kids. If you are racing an ARCA and you're over about 24 or 25 years old, you need to really sit down and ask yourself, what the hell are you doing?
You missed your time.
I'm just saying, ARCA's for kids. Then you go to trucks, you win in trucks, and you get a shot in Xfinity. You win an Xfinity championship, then you get a cup ride. Otherwise, enjoy Xfinity.
I had to go fact check. I don't think Custer – I'm looking at this right now. I don't think Custer won a Xfinity championship, and he won a cup race today. So
and that happens.
It could be like the dip.
Right, and now he's in the playoffs, which is a big upset.
It happens.
It does.
But he didn't go out there and win that race by luck. And I'm not saying that my theory is 100% correct. I'm just saying that most likely if you cannot win an Xfinity championship, you're not going to win a cup race.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And then especially for a championship in general.
But there's always an exception to the rule. I mean, it's always.
How about Christopher Bell? That's another one, though. This is like, the third race he's had a top 10 in. He's been one of the highest priced guys on DraftKings up there with the guy just because of starting position. He's been falling back, in I'd say at least past 28, 29. He's in the 30s 9 times out of 10. He's been able to get up there and compete with these top 10s. Matt DiBenedetto is getting so close. He finished third today. I'm ready to see DiBenedetto. You got a Wood Brothers shirt on right now, Jinsey. I don't know if that's
I do.
a DiBenedetto shirt, though. Is that DiBenedetto?
No, it's just the Wood Brothers.
No, it has a 21 right there.
That's
but
just
it's not.
It's been 21 since day one.
Well, it has a 21 on the back, too. But you can't.
How long has the Wood Brothers been around? Do you know?
It can be a DiBenedetto.
You know how long the Wood Brothers have been around?
It doesn't say on the shirt.
Do you know how long?
Yes, I know how long. Since
I don't
dinosaurs.
know how long.
Since dinosaurs.
Since dinosaurs.
I mean,
When they
what kind of
invented
car is
gas.
that? What kind of car is on your shirt?
Just,
Yeah, I mean, it's an old car.
Yeah. When they invented gas, the next day they invented the Wood
The
Brothers racing team. Okay. They've been around that long, literally.
They were
it's
the
a family
pioneers.
deal. I think they're on like the 55th generation.
Good God.
I mean, of the Wood kids. It's like literally, man, they've been around since the beginning of time.
The Wood Kids.
The Wood kids.
Well, I mean, they're always a different generation,
Yeah.
I've seen like a couple of different generations of Woods racing team owners.
I don't think I've ever seen – when was the last Wood that drove for the Wood Brothers?
I couldn't tell you that, but Trevor Bain got the last victory for him.
Trevor Bain.
The Daytona 500.
That's who Bain drove for. That's
Wood
right.
Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're back. Now it all makes
like,
sense.
who's this Trevor Bain kid, and why is Jeff Gordon pushing him? Holy shit, Jeff Gordon pushed him to a victory. Then they come back to Daytona. Trevor Bain says, screw you. I'm not pushing you. And Jeff Gordon was pissed.
Didn't Ryan Blaney get a win for the Wood Brothers?
Yeah, Pocono.
At Pocono.
Was he in 12 or 21 at the time?
He was in the 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget about that stuff.
That's okay, Randy. That's what I'm here for.
That's what we're here for. We love you. Look, you've been busy, man. You got a lot of stuff going on. That's why we got you
I'm
back.
always busy.
So, yeah, Reddick win the top 10, just kind of looking over this final lineup. Harvick finishing fourth, doing better than he has done in years past, I guess, at Kentucky. He just never has had the luck. He hasn't been able to close out. I personally thought he was going to be one of the guys that was going to be able to do it because he closed out Pocono finally, getting that win on Saturday of the Pocono doubleheader. Today he was close to it, and, I mean, he was right there at it. It's just that Cole wanted it more, and he was right there. But 4 wide going into the end of that race, seeing how they were pushing up on each other, I thought Truex had it in the bag. So wasn't the best day for bets by far. DFS lineups were not for the best day, and that was mostly because of Aric Almirola, Idaho. What's going on with that? When's the last time you can say that you've seen Aric Almirola come out and be a contender like this?
Man, he was dominant first half of the race.
consistent.
Yes, first half of the race, he was the hoss.
Does this say more about SHR or more about Aric Almirola?
Well, I think Aric Almirola is better than what he's shown. Okay, but I don't think he's ready.
See, I don't.
Okay, this is what I think. Aric Almirola, I like him. He's a good guy. Okay, and I like all the guys. He's good for 1 or 2 victories a year. Okay, it's just what it is. Clint Boyer's the same way. He's good, he's a good, tough guy, but he's a great person, but he's going to give you – they just don't have the consistent luck that everybody else has. This is a game of luck, man. I mean, look what happened on pit road with the caution.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, that is not strategy. You don't sit there and go, hey, we fixed to come down and pit on this son of a bitch and they're going to throw a caution. That ain't how it works.
Yeah, that was all luck. Shout out to Brad Kay, though, getting the – somebody said he had a horseshoe stuck up his ass.
He's so lucky.
It makes sense. But, I mean, and he had it in the bag, but Truex is just I think Truex is better. And right now, with the equipment, these Gibbs cars, man, it's one of them is going to be good. The rest of them are going to suck. Hamlin gets it some weeks. Truex gets it. Kyle Busch is out pretty much. He's done. His team cannot get it right unless they have practice. He's complaining because they don't have practice. Truex and Hamlin aren't complaining.
Pissed.
Yeah, and I would be too. But the people that started him in DFS this week, I didn't write about him this week. I mean, obviously, for his price in DFS, you got to play him in some lineups. I didn't completely fade him, But it's just like you pretty much know that he's going to fall back. Like, it's just a given. It's just they cannot get it right. Truex, Hamlin, those teams on different weeks, they swap in and out. They've got it figured out. Other than that, SHR is dominant right now, and that's where it's at. That's what we have.
You do realize a bird just crapped about a foot away from you, and it almost hit
I heard
you.
it, and I smell it.
It just flew. I was watching it fly over, and it just crapped like a foot away from you. It almost hit you.
I'm nervous. Should we get an umbrella? Where's it?
No, I'm waiting.
Hey!
I would love for that bird to crap right on you.
I don't need that to happen.
Right on his hat. His black hat.
Need to be inside. Yeah, right. It'll show up so perfectly. Zoom in.
Or it might blend in.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
On
maybe
the white right there.
Maybe he'll poop right here on Bill Murray doing the jump man.
But, at the end of the day, you got your drivers that don't have the best of luck all the time. They're going to give you a victory or two a year. John Andretti was one of those guys.
Ricky Rudd
was one of those guys. I mean, there was a lot. Rusty Wallace was one of those guys some of the time.
Rusty Dub.
Terry Labonte was one of them guys for most of his career, and then come on a little stronger late. But, I mean, it's just luck, man. It's luck. Your team has to create its own luck.
You have to be at the right place at the right time.
Yes, everything has to go smoothly, and everybody has to work hard. And if there's one weak link, then you're not a championship contender. You're just a guy that can win a race or two a year.
Right. Exactly. And look, I'm not like a Aric Almirola hater by any means. I just think it's funny because I've never really seen his personality. You never really hear about him, and all of a sudden he's killing it. And that's why I say I think
he's right there.
Yeah, he's there. He's Bacon Man, Bacon Boy.
Bacon Boy
yeah,
with an
gif of him bowling like I had on Twitter that I found today. Just like so, like he may be one of my new favorite drivers actually, just because of the randomness of him just coming to the forefront. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll have to get with his people and we'll get with our people and we'll see what we can do.
What y'all gonna do if Cole Custer wins the All-Star race?
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just still seriously.
Michael Waltrip won it one year.
Yeah, he did.
And then the first thing he said out of his mouth is
all-timer right there.
Yeah, Michael Waltrip won the All-Star race. He'd never won a race. Yeah. This was the first race he ever won, and it was not a points-paying race.
It was. And then he
didn't win the Daytona until after that. Yeah. He was in the 21 Woods Brothers car. He goes out there. He has to go to the Open because he's never won a race. He's not in the All-Star race, so he goes and races the Open. He wins the Open and transfers into the All-Star race. And damn, if he don't go out there and win that thing in the Woods Brothers 21.
It's always something like that.
And the first thing out of his mouth is he said, "I'm going to buy my mama and daddy a new house." That was his word.
Aww. I love Mikey.
He said that. That is the sweetest thing ever.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Go to YouTube and search out Michael Waltrip All-Star Race Victory Speech. And that is the first thing he says, "I'm going to buy my mom and daddy a new house."
Shout out to Mikey.
That is so sweet. Yeah, good for him.
People thought Dale Earnhardt was nuts for putting him in that 15 car.
No, he knew it was up.
In 01. They thought he was nuts. I mean, literally, people told Dale Earnhardt, "Are you crazy for putting Michael Waltrip in that 15 car?"
That was his boy.
And then the very first race, Michael Waltrip goes out and wins the Daytona 500. Of course, we lose Dale Earnhardt in that same race. Yeah, but what a genius he was.
The emotion, man, that he had to go through. I watched the what was it? It's out of
In the Blink of an Eye. Is that what you're talking about?
I
so
bought
good.
That movie. I bought it.
So
I have it on my Google account. I watched it, and it was one of the most compelling stories of NASCAR. Like, obviously, we had some really good NASCAR documentaries come out recently. Like Unrivaled, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt. It was a Fox special. That was amazing. Blink of an Eye was amazing. There's a lot of good NASCAR flicks out there right now. We need a Richard Petty movie, though, like an actual movie. Petty movie.
I wonder if in the movie there would be a driver sitting out his window while he's racing, sitting out the window, cleaning the windshield with a rag while he's staring the car, and he's got his foot in the gas pedal. I think it was on a road course, if I remember right. And his windshield was dirty. This was before they had the tear-offs, and Richard Petty climbs out of the car with his foot on the gas pedal, sits up on the door, and cleans the cotton picking windshield while he stares it with the other hand.
So we had that. We had Dale Earnhardt do that on pit road. We've had a couple of guys do that.
Sterling Marlin worked on his car one time under red flag, but this was actually during the race. You know, I mean, he didn't want to come off the track to clean his windshield.
Well, he was already, like we talked about, he was already up like.
No, that was Dale Earnhardt. That was Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, it had to be Dale.
That was Dale that did that.
Dale would have to be in the Richard
My
Petty
Alzheimer's is kicking in today.
Oh, God.
Kind of like mine was.
We're taking the scotch away from Randy.
Hey, give me that back. Give me that back.
Oh, man.
Nobody gets to take my scotch away.
But no, it was an incredible race. Though I mean, even though the money wasn't there today, we did lose a little bit of money. I had Cole Custer as one of my picks in the roto.
A little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little more than a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was good to see Cole win. I had Cole in my picks. For the people that were out there that were brave enough to take plus 10,000 odds on Cole to win the race, congratulations. Send me some money.
It was 10,000?
Plus 10,000 before the suspension of bets. For $100 to get 10 grand, 10 large.
Wow.
Somebody got 10 large that bet on Cole Custer today.
I wish I could predict
$100.
the future.
What if we would have put $1 million on it? How much would that have paid?
A lot.
$100 million?
A lot. Yeah. I don't even want to do math right now. It's probably very simple.
No,
math.
10,000. 10,000. It would have been like $1 billion.
Yeah.
No, it would have been.
I don't think anybody would have took
It would have been a shit ton.
We're not the math. This is not a math.
It would have been a
podcast.
shit ton of money.
We'll have to call Drew for that one.
I should
Yeah,
have put $1
Drew.
million on Cole Custer.
My brain is not set up for that right now. It's just been a day. But I'm telling you, like, literally, when you're thinking about those kind of odds, somebody bet on it. Somebody got that today. That happened. Even if you put $10, like, I mean, it didn't matter what you put with those kind of odds. But I had Truex, I had Keselowski. Those were my two guys to win. And just towards the end, it just became a huge toss-up. So the restarts were everything, and that's what I'm saying. Any given Sunday, these kind of things happen. So I know the All-Star race is coming up next week. We've got another great run of races in August. August is going to be so busy, and hopefully we can get to some of these races before long with everything clearing up. Basketball's starting back soon. The bubble. Sports are back. Sports are back.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Sports are back, so we're about to have a lot of fun with this stuff. But that's about it for Kentucky. Of course, we have Jinsey on. And before we go, we've got to get Jinsey Says in. Jinsey, what are we saying?
What you say, girl?
All right. So Jinsey says that the number placement on the cars for the Bristol All-Star race is not it. That sucks. We were expecting even like quarter panel numbers, which we thought were bad, but they went even worse. They went even lower than that. And they put the numbers, you have the driver's window. They just moved it back a little bit to the right. And there's a sponsor right to the left of it. And it's so busy, it just does not work. And I'm not about that. But one thing I will say is that I am super excited because the underglow of the cars – I love the underglow. Could you imagine how cool that's going to be? Like whenever it's really dark, and then all of a sudden they all just turn on their underglow. Like that is going to be sick. Like I wish I could be there to watch that. But
they have successfully, I got to interrupt. They successfully taken the cars from Cars 3 and made them in real life.
Yes, that's truly have. There's so much inspiration from the movie. You know, like it really ended up working out for them. But yeah, not a fan of the number placement for the All-Star race, but I am a fan of the underglow. So that's my piece.
All right, so we got the underglow. I know it would have been way better if the numbers would have been in the right spot. I think that the best car with underglow was obviously Kurt Busch's car, the one with the black with the green that was in Nashville.
That looked sick.
Even the 42 with Chip Ganassi with the blue looked great. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the number placement either, but I just think that they could have been a lot more original with it. They literally ripped off Cars 3. That is exactly what they did. And if you've seen Cars 3, right? I'm assuming.
Did you watch it, Randy?
You got kids.
Which one? Yeah, I got big kids. Which one is that?
That's the one. It's the most recent one.
Is that the one where they're shooting them with the laser thing?
No, that was Cars 2. Cars 3 is the one where like McQueen's getting older, getting ready to retire, and all these new racers.
He goes training and stuff on the treadmill.
The cars look completely different.
Yeah, he's got the Porsche. Who's his trainer?
I don't. It is a Porsche. Cruz is the name of the girl, and she becomes the new Dynaco girl. Yeah, and her number's like off on the back too. So it's literally what they're doing. So I think that they could have been a little more original about it. Watch out for the bird.
Hey,
I see it.
Hey.
But, at the same time.
Oh, shit! That was close.
All right.
Take cover.
I'm not going to warn you. I'm just going to warn
about
myself.
There's like a swarm of birds.
Oh, but it lands in your mouth.
No, not me.
You imagine being talking and a bird taking a dump in your mouth?
That's terrible.
It looks like chalk. It's got to taste that way, too.
What would you do if that happened? What would you do?
I don't know what I would do if you had that happen to you.
All of our equipment would just go to shit because I would vomit all over.
You think so?
Probably.
I think it'd just be like a chalky turd.
I can't do that.
Does it not look like chalk?
Oh, it does.
It's got to taste like chalk.
I don't think it's going to taste
Stuff
like
has
chalk.
to taste like what it looks like. If something smells like shit, it tastes like shit.
Maybe it'll taste like a milkshake, like a for real milkshake.
I just had a for real milkshake.
Oreo Blast from Sonic.
I had the Reese's
Jinsey's
for
getting
real
so
milkshake.
disgusted. She's just like, oh, why am I here?
I'm just like choosing to ignore it. Like anything you say, I'm just like.
Flip the mute.
She said, you trying to tell me something, but I ain't listening.
I ain't listening. That ain't me.
All right. So Jinsey says number placement isn't it. Underglow's okay. So we got the final approval for that. Other than that, it's been a great Sunday. We've had a race. Jinsey said what she had to say. I think that's about all we got. Any last words?
You all are on a beach, so that's another good thing about the Sunday.
Yeah.
Y'all are just chilling
on the beach.
Yep.
There's a massage table right over there. So,
JK, we're actually on the Russian coast because of sunlight over here.
Yep. We didn't want to tell anybody we're in Alaska.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, time zones are different. We're somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly where we are.
Here.
Margaritaville. We're here. Surprise!
We found it.
That's it.
Well, the only thing I want to say, before we get out of here is we're serious about not releasing this comedy deal until we got 1,000 subscribers.
Absolutely.
So, guys, you got to get your friends and stuff. If you want to hear this thing, you got to subscribe. And I promise you want to hear it.
That's 1,000 subscribers.
How many are we at now? Do you know?
About 280, I think.
About 280. We're quickly approaching 300. Thanks to everybody that is watching this, that is listening. If you're listening and you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, you're an avid podcast listener. We do have a lot of listeners on Apple and Spotify. We thank you guys. But do go subscribe to YouTube because not only do we have these podcasts, we have all of Randy's videos you can find there. We're going to have the stand-up special once we hit a K. I'm sure Jinsey's going to be having some videos before long. We're going to have some Chef Boy stuff up there. Pretty much everything and anything we're doing with Garage Guys. Plus, we got football season coming up. So we're going to have a lot of new content rolling out. Garage Guys is just getting started. And even though 2020 is pretty much being kind of a stay-home, shut-off year, we still really busy behind the scenes. So we do it.
It's going to be the year for the Garage Guys. That's
it. 2020. It was. We used to say 2020 was finna be a movie. So we still have to direct that movie. Production doesn't stop.
Well, it's a damn horror movie, I can tell you that.
Horror movie. Yeah.
If 2020 was a movie, it's the best horror film ever made.
Absolutely.
It's like taking a cross of The Shining and Chucky and every damn thing else and cramming it all together and having a giant fucking hemorrhoid.
Sprinkle of The Exorcist.
That giant hemorrhoid is called 2020.
Oh, man. Man, good God.
That's its name.
I'm so damn broke I can't even pay attention.
I know. I mean, it's been a day. We got to get out of here, though. Episode 179 has been great. Jinsey, great to see you as always. Glad you made it back.
Great to be here.
The Bill's safe, and we're going to keep enjoying our beach time now and not think about anything, especially numbers, because we're not good at math and very basic math.
Not math.
So we're going to cut at that. But as always, sports, party, repeat.
Repeat. Oh, shit!
It's the Garage Guys. 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 The Garage Guys. It's 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 the Garage Guys.